The key turning in the lock is the quietest sound of my day. I shed my scrubs just inside the door, dropping them into the biohazard bag like a contaminated skin. The smells of the ER, antiseptic, iron-rich blood, and the cloying sweetness of diabetic ketoacidosis cling to me, an invisible shroud. On the other side of the living room, my husband, Ben, looks up from the book he's reading. His smile is gentle, questioning. It's an invitation to a world I no longer know how to enter. Tough one, he asks. They're all tough, I reply, my voice flat. I retrieve a bottle of water from the fridge, the coldness a welcome shock, and retreat to the porch. The silence of our suburban Detroit street is a roaring abyss compared to the controlled chaos I just left. Ben's silhouette remains in the warmly lit living room. He knows not to follow. This is our ritual, my slow, silent decompression, his patient, lonely vigil. But tonight is different. The usual numbness isn't there. Tonight, the ghosts followed me home. I can still see the wide, terrified eyes of the 5-year-old girl pulled from the car wreck. I can still feel the heartbreakingly small space between her ribs where my hands pumped, trying to force a rhythm back into a heart that had already surrendered. I can still hear her mother's scream from the next trauma bay when the doctor called the time of death, a sound of a soul being torn in two. I drain the water bottle, my knuckles white. The porch door slides open behind me. It's Ben. He's holding a steaming mug. "I made you some tea," he says softly, his voice full of a careful tenderness that suddenly feels like sandpaper on my raw nerves. "I don't want tea, Ben," I say, not looking at him. "Okay," he says, not retreating. "Isla, talk to me. What happened tonight?" And something inside me snaps. The wall I so carefully maintain every single day, the one that separates the horror from the home, just disintegrates. I turn to him, and my voice is a venom I didn't know I possessed. "Talk to you? About what?" "About how a little girl died in my hands tonight because her parents were too busy screaming at each other to look at the road. About how her blood is still under my fingernails. You want to hear about that, Ben? You want to hear about the sounds and the smells? You, with your history books and your quiet classroom. You can't possibly understand any of it." The words hang in the cold night air, ugly and cruel. I wanted to hurt him, to push him away, to make him retreat back to his safe, warm world. But this time, he doesn't. He just looks at me, his gentle face filled not with hurt, but with a profound, bone-deep weariness. "You're right, Isla," he says, his voice quiet, but devastatingly final. "I don't understand, because you never let me. I live with you, but I'm alone. I can't fight the ghosts if I can't even see them." He places the mug on the railing. "I think I'm going to sleep in the guest room tonight." He walks back inside, and the silence that follows is different. It's not the welcome quiet after a chaotic shift. It's the desolate silence of true loneliness. The silence of a space I created myself. I look at my hands that can restart a stranger's heart, but have just stopped my own husband's from reaching for me. The next morning, I stood in the kitchen, the untouched mug of tea cold on the counter. And for the first time in a very long time, I made a decision not about a patient, but about me. I picked up my phone and made an appointment. Not for a haircut, not for the dentist, but for the kind of help that teaches you how to talk about ghosts before you become one yourself.